Respect. In life, we agree to disagree, as long as we have respect on it. Respect goes a long way, especially when you don't have malicious intentions towards anyone. But, as a human being and dealing with past trauma, you can never tell somebody when their healing process is supposed to start. You can never tell somebody just because a traumatic episode experience that they had in their life that was so traumatizing to tell them that's not going to affect their life or how long it's supposed to affect their life. You can never tell somebody they need to hurry up and get over something. You can never tell somebody that. Because at the end of the day, if you was to have to deal with something so traumatic and traumatizing and toxic and unexpressible, you wouldn't want somebody to tell you when you need to hurry up and start your healing process. Or start, making better decisions for yourself. Or tell you, you know what? I need to do this for myself today. Especially if you're not aware of yourself. That energy hit different. When a person is not aware of themselves, the communication with two people is not reciprocated as to two human beings that are aware of themselves. Respectfully. Dealing with toxic people that came into your life and endured toxic energy into your life, and especially at an early child age, you can never tell that person how long their healing process is supposed to be. You can never. Until they acknowledge it for themselves and see what genuinely needs to be fixed within themselves. We can say all day long what needs to be fixed within somebody until that person honestly, genuinely acknowledges themselves. And say, you know what? I gotta be the best self-vision for myself because I see this is where my awareness comes from and why I'm moving the way I'm moving or why I'm delayed the way I'm delayed and I don't understand myself today. Or how do I better myself moving forward because of something that I was uneducated on or something that I never knew even can exist? Or how do I deal with a certain situation where I don't have any guidance? And learning as I go. When you learn as you go, you're going to make errors. You're going to make genuine mistakes. As long as it's not a repeated thing. It's different when it's a repeated thing and you got malicious intentions towards other people. That energy hit different. But when somebody is dealing with an episode within themselves, regardless of how life is doing them negatively and that's how they feel mentally, you can never tell that person when they're supposed to genuinely show up for themselves. Because even putting somebody against a wall and telling you taking everything from them at the end of the day, that person will never still be aware of themselves. All they know is it just happened. It just happened. It's different conversations when you're having with somebody who's aware of themselves compared to somebody who's not. And even when you find somebody who's genuinely aware of themselves, you still can't tell that person when they're supposed to heal. When they're supposed to acknowledge, you know what? This behavior is unacceptable. The thought process for me, this is not what I want to think. Moving forward, if I'm choosing myself, especially the best part of myself. You can never sit here and say to somebody at the end of the day, because something so traumatic happened in their life, that's stopping them from getting this job opportunity. That's stopping them from getting this. That's stopping them from getting that. If they not they self, they not going to show as their best self vision. So the opportunity that it did present itself, something probably is better in store for them. And why was that? Because timing, life, and accepting life from growth in a healthy way. Because at one point in time, you were unaware of yourself. Or even if you wasn't, because everybody's story is not the same. But it's cool having respect for the next person. Just because you don't understand somebody's situation doesn't give you the right at the end of the day to say, you know what? That doesn't make sense in your book. It doesn't have to make sense in your book. As long as that person is able to acknowledge themselves, respect themselves, and respect you in the process. Respect is a two-way street. If it's a one-sided situation, it ain't for nobody. Because disrespect is real. You know, when you endure toxic traits within you, you know, at some point in time in your life, you come to terms where, you know, you outgrow it. Some people do, some people don't. And that's okay. But in the process, at the end of the day, you know, it's okay to respect other people, especially innocent people that doesn't have malicious intentions towards one another, respectfully, because everybody's worthy as long as you don't have malicious intentions towards anyone. Because you are genuinely respected by all the right people, you are genuinely loved by all the right people, and you deserve to be treated with respect. Just because somebody gave up on you, don't give up on yourself, because you matter. Just because you endured toxic traits doesn't give you the right to disrespect and harm other people when you feel like it, or try to take control over a narrative and it's not getting your way. Now you got malicious intentions towards an innocent person that has never had any malicious intentions towards you, let alone probably even knew you. Your life matters. Your life matters, your life matters, your life matters. But you have to see it for you. Only you have to see it. But you matter. Respect. It's okay to take genuine accountability for your actions. But when you're just doing it just to do it, and it's not genuine, that energy hit different. Respectfully. And you're only playing in your own face. Respect. You know, at the end of the day, it's okay to outgrow the old and be introduced to new self-vision of yourself in a healthy way. And especially if you don't have malicious intentions towards anyone. It's okay. People outgrow themselves every day, especially when they're willing to learn themselves in all different languages within themselves. Love yourself. Respect. It's not a crime either to genuinely love yourself. It's not a crime. Respect.